Hello, my name is Raymond Garchewski, and I am a living Christ. Today I have a most important message for you. Please listen carefully. The quality of your life depends upon it. The subject I should like to speak of is the Second American Revolution and the exodus from slavery. This is being addressed to all Americans who are fed up with the tyranny now underway here in this so-called land of the free and home of the brave, and desire to remove themselves from their own imaginary state of slavery, which has made their quality of life a shambles. This is the time of the awakening of a people, not only here in America, but in the entire world of civilized mankind. It may be likened to the biblical story of the Exodus, the mass liberation of a people from the satanic bondage of man-made laws, which have blurred the distinguishing law of God, the law of truth, the law of nature that is do no harm, from the insanity of the artificially imposed fictional mindset made possible only through satanic indoctrination enforced through man-made laws. The liberation that I speak of is not for everyone, but it is there for those who have the spiritual eyes to see and the ears to hear, for those who have been awakened to their own spiritual consciousness of their true nature as sons and daughters of God, and have rediscovered their own God-given gift of sovereignty. That which I speak of cannot be understood by all, for the pall of satanic indoctrination via institutionalized cultural, religious, and political mind control hangs heavy over the heads of those who have been made to doubt themselves. These are the slaves of hell, the victims of tyranny, made possible only through their own consent and contract. They have not yet learned the lessons of life that they are here to learn. All of the horrific problems of life can be traced to the human intellect. That dualistic level of satanic-ruled consciousness, which creates division, opposition, violence, and confusion. That is not the true state of man, the state of sovereignty found only in the subconscious mind, the realm of the non-dualistic truth, the supreme consciousness that is capable of creation. But instead, it is the state of the fallen man, the corrupted man, those who have willfully chosen to live their lives as intellectually dominated and driven, civilized men, corrupted men, incomplete men, whose spiritual teacher is pain and suffering from his own self-created adherence to ignorance and illusion. Which law do you follow? Is it God's law or satanic law, which is man's law? The latter receives its power only through invitation, seduction, and the granting of jurisdiction to an illusion that has no power were it not for man's consent. Yes, your personal hell is possible only through your own consent and agreement. As for this living Christ, that question of jurisdiction has already been answered and settled by every satanically ruled fictional government agency, judge, sheriff, attorney general, secretary of state, through their own commercial defaults in the amount of $40 million when they sought to put this living Christ into prison for 40 years. And they failed. Yes, they convicted their own illusory fictional defendant, but they released this living man, as their scam had been exposed by the living man who could not be shaken from his sovereignty. The fictional Oregon government is too busy dancing to the tune of this living Christ to free themselves from their own criminal cover-up conducted right under the noses of ignorant taxpayers. Let me draw your attention to a Christ demand upon the IRS. You'll find it at arkenterprises.com/CRI CHRISIRS.html. May I suggest that you read it, for it does tell the story, does it not? This document was sent to the IRS after they threatened this living Christ with the second notice to comply with their demands. After sending them the above mentioned document, suddenly no further word has been heard from them. Another satanic Goliath has been toppled by this living Christ. Yet this valuable lesson on how to deal with government has not been learned by the vast numbers of people who are still victimized and enslaved by the satanic system that they have sworn their allegiance to. When the rest of the mind-controlled public realize that no fictional government or agency has jurisdiction over them, the living man and woman, without their consent, the whole satanic scam is finally exposed, and living men and women shall be able to contract privately, not publicly, but privately with all others, and not be forced to engage in public contracting, which places them under the satanic jurisdiction of man's government. Such realization shall bring down the fictional satanic government. It is for them and them only. Hell on earth shall be transformed into heaven on earth. It is a shame that a fictional de facto government rules a country of mind-controlled ninnies who would rather die in violent conflict and revolution than assert themselves as sovereigns, the sovereigns that they truly are. Such status has been proven to all through the life experiences of this living Christ. But they have yet to understand that point, and they continue to live as slaves in bondage. Hell, isn't it? Wake up, America. Throw off your shackles of slavery. I, this living Christ, have shown you the way, and the rest is up to you now. All the steps that must be taken to regain your sovereignty may be found at my website, arkenterprises.com, and my videos at arkenterprises.com/index.html #gospel. Check it out. Give it your full attention and understand that sovereignty is your true estate, and you no longer have to be a slave.